All right, speculators, let's fire up the Futures Fanatic live stream for the afternoon of Thursday, August 6th, 2026. This is a brand new stream using new software, new camera, new setup, and it's just the beginning of some fun stuff that I'll be doing. I'm going to try to compete with these young kids and the quality of their stream, but I'm going to be doing something my style, adult way. Can I get a one in the one in there for picture and sound? Should be pretty good. Should be able to see the screen pretty clearly. Awesome. Cool. Well, stick around. I'm going to tell you about some pretty neat things I'm going to be doing, including some giveaways starting next week, because I know you guys do like giveaways, ways you can guarantee yourself you win. But before we get started, I don't know how to do this yet, so there we go. Just want to start with a risk disclosure and disclaimer. Remind everybody the broadcast is always for educational purposes. Nothing is solicitation to buy or sell any security I mention or talk about on the screen. Although if you had been short App11, as I've been talking about for just about 10 months, you'd be having a pretty good day. Trading 337, it was below 330 at one point. You can go check my YouTube channel for my discussion on that. And basically I went back and looked, did not nail the Qs. The Qs getting to below 650 by August is looking very unlikely, so I rolled that out. Anyway, let's finish with the risk disclosure disclaimer. I'll go find the App11 short that I did and stream that I did and just gloat about it. It's a extremely made more money than how much I paid for my very first house, like a lot more money in one trade on 2,500 shares. I shorted it at 711. It's now trading 337, and I have not covered any shares because it's going to 250 and then probably out of business. Okay, anyway, let's finish this up. So nothing is solicitation to buy or sell any security. Don't listen to me. Don't eat yellow snow. Don't run with scissors. Look both ways before you cross the street and understand that a lot of the trading that you might be seeing on the screen is going to be placed in simulated brokerage accounts and should not be expected to be replicated in a live brokerage account. But only wussies trade prop programs in front of you. So now what we're going to have is a persistent upper left-hand corner where you can see my Kerpos. It's right here, right there, right? So there's my Kerpos. Up about $1,100 today, and my current positions are short the M2K, short the MES, short MCL, long MYM, long ZT, long TN, and short MBT. So what I'll watch here on the screen is this long Dow Jones, which got down right to our level. Where my 5400s at, right? Where my 5400s at? Right here. So we're just looking at Tuesday's POC, man. Tuesday's naked POC. That's where we went. Right? What's low for the session? Low for the session is 54,004. So we didn't quite get there. So I started this morning in my trade group, short the Dow Jones with a decent amount of size on, took all those profits off, and have now reversed long. So this is the same position that you saw. Yes, we have a more high definition. Look how good I look in this thing. I mean, I got no filters going on. No filters except for the thing that blurs out the background. And this is some of the fun stuff I have planned. I'm going to turn this into, I'm going to turn these things into, so this is my AI tool that I'm working on, but we're going to have a whole bunch of sort of like lightweight widgets that talk about percentage of range of all the instruments, and then I'll just pull so they'll be available for members inside of my brain, but here when I'm streaming, I'll be able to have a bunch of cool other sort of like dashboard things, like how much range has the Dow put in today, a little summary of some of the trades that I did in the Dow, a bunch of other ideas. And then the fun thing that I'm working on is I'm calling it the camel spitter. Does anyone want to guess what the camel spitter does? So what the camel spitter is, everybody, is it's going to be sort of like a wheel, like when you spin the wheel for a giveaway or Wheel of Fortune or whatever, or the worst game with the worst odds in the house here in Las Vegas when you spin that big giant wheel that has the dollars on it. But what the camel spitter is going to be is we're going to come in here and I'm going to really do this because I'm doing it with micros in a $90,000 account, so I should be okay. Even if we get unlucky, I might even run some polls and let you guys determine what the camel spitter is. But here's what the camel spitter does. We spin it, and it lands on MNQ. So it's going to select a product, only micros. It's going to select a contract size between 1 and 3, and it's going to select a direction. So we're going to spin the wheel, and let's say it came up with MNQ short 2. I will immediately go into the market and short 2 MNQ contracts live in front of you. Because what I'm going to prove to you is that your strategy doesn't matter. It really doesn't. I'm here to teach you some frameworks and ways to look at the markets so that you can execute more effectively anything that you want to do in the markets. Now, if you listen to me, a guy who's been doing it for 34 years, yes, 34 years, I can maybe help you, save you some time, and you won't step on your dick. But all I want to do with the camel spitter is show you that we can pick a direction, we can pick an instrument, we can pick a size, and I will manage it. Because, again, with micros in the afternoon, you can kind of see where I'm going here, right? We're not going to get that hurt because we're properly sized. And hopefully, when we hit the camel spitter, we'll be at a place in the market where I can control risk. Because right here in this Dow Jones, this is really a toss-up here. It's nice that we started to make a slightly higher low. Anyone long the Dow Jones here? So we're going to do the camel spitter. I don't think anybody else has ever thought of that or is going to do that. And I welcome all the other people out there streaming. But another thing you're never going to see, I'm never going to run a bunch of prop promo codes across the bottom. If you want to support me and my channel and you want to be in my good graces, it's always code TDG. It's always code TDG. And if you, before you spend any money on the next prop program, you want to do things right, it's school/TDG, school.com/TDG. Okay? You're not paying for a course. You're not paying for an indicator. It's daily deliberate income, daily deliberate practice inside my trade room. Okay? Along with 547 other people that are a lot closer probably where you're at on your trading journey than listening to me or anybody else on YouTube. Okay, another question for you. I get hit up so much with all these platforms and prop firms, I can't even keep up with it. So what I'm doing instead is creating also a kind of a network where before I vet anything, if a company comes to me and even if they've thrown up some sort of AI slop, I will put it on the sort of ones to watch list just so that we can continue to share ideas and find out, get on some early stuff. So anyway, I have no idea. Is anyone trading on this thing? Tradovex. So clearly they are using CQG or Rhythmic if they have all these prop programs they're supporting. So maybe it's a CQG connection. So again, I think I try to keep up with this stuff, and I've never even heard of it. I mean, there's a platform every other freaking day. And wouldn't you know, the one that I invested in probably is not going to end up working out as well as I wish it would have. But anyway, anyone ever heard of Tradovex? And if you've used it, let me know. So Tradovex, I don't know. TDGPT. How do I set my daily risk budget? Why micros instead of minis? You know why micros instead of minis, everybody? I'll tell you why. Because you never go full mini. You never go full mini. Don't go full mini. All right, let's see. Come on, Dow. Come on, Dow Jones. I love it. Long, the perfect fill. You're up $20 in 2 hours. Yep. Yeah, so someone's saying app loving his dog shit, and that's you've utilized you use the product. I never even used the product. I did a teeny bit of research, saw that if there was ever something that could get AI'd away, especially since it's working with, so you guys know what it is, right? I was like, this thing is definitely in the crosshairs of AI. Doesn't have a big enough installment base, all kinds of things. So I'm going to make more on that than I did on my Lulu short, and I shorted Lulu within $3 of the all-time high. I was like, okay, enough with the yoga pants. I did a little Peter Lynch with Lulu because I and by the way, you'll make infinitely more money buying and holding good quality stocks or just the index. Again, not financial advice. I'm not a investment channel or streamer, but you'll make way more money than trying to pick the next superstar stock on the upside or fade. But I just find it easier to see when crappy things have gotten way overdone, or when there's, clothing brands and things with lots of competition. Anyway, I Peter Lynched it because at the time I put it on, the girl I was dating started just wear a lot of things other than Lulu. I'm like, I used to be spending like $1,000 a month in Lulu, and now it's Viari or something else. So she knows where the puck's going. Perfect Aminos did not reach out to me and offer me a sponsorship deal. So screw those guys. All right. So let me see what else we got here. So you think these copiers copy profitable traders? No. I mean, the copiers are no. So the answer to that is no. And I know for a fact that it's no. Look, every one of these prop firms out there can't even figure out what very, 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 very small percentage of their desk they should even be copying on the back end, and know that and know they're not trading against their entire desk either. That's not happening. So that's a fallacy. At least in the futures world, I have no idea what FX CFD folks are doing, and A book, B book, C book, D book, F book, Booker T. Washington. I'm not sure. All right. Gonna be a boring afternoon, I think. Looking a little boring. By the way, this is App Lovin'. Upper right here. Suck it, App Lovin'. God, this was such a good day. And I didn't even gloat about it today in my trade room. I didn't even mention it one time, because I want them to feel like I'm humble. Rod, does anyone really understand what Tom Sosnoff is talking about? Yeah, the diehards are. What Tom Sosnoff is talking about, and he doesn't own brokerage anymore as far as I know. He might still own a percentage of it or have some earnouts or reasons to have Tasty still do well. I'm sure he wants Tasty to do well. His stuff was all disguised in figure out how to generate the most amount of transaction costs associated with options by having everything be multi-leg or roll till you're right. Thank you, Molly. Molly gave me that one. I never heard of it because I never knew about rolling options that are wildly unprofitable. Says the guy that just did it in the queues, but they weren't wildly unprofitable, and I had a reason. All I did was take the same strike that was within $14 of making me a bunch of money to go in the money, and I got greedy. If you can't follow along with that, I had August 650 Qs when the Qs were printing like 725 or whatever. And man, did I get greedy, because at one point they were up 300%, but I was looking for the home run of home runs, so took the L as the market rallied off the, what was it in NQs, 28 twos, right? So from 28 twos up to 30,000 in 2 days, right? That's about what it was. Welcome to the V bottom. So I don't think anyone really understands what keep your thetas and your gammas and your deltas in line. If you want to learn a little bit about gammas and the thetas and the deltas without really having to learn anything about the gammas and the thetas and the deltas, mostly gamma, you should check out my interview on YouTube with Fabio of Mentor Q. Or if you ended up becoming a member of my group, the greatest trading group community ever assembled, We have a lunch and learn that we did with him right here on market maker levels. We also had Joel come on from Affordable Indicators. We also had Austin come on from Options Auto Trader, and then next week I'm going to have Andre from the Giant. No, Andre from Edgeful. He's going to come on. And the week after that, we're going to have James, the CEO of Trade Day, come on and talk about, if you guys are not on to Trade Day, you need to get onto some Trade Day. They got accounts for like $60. Activation fee included. Activation fee included. Of the series of ones that I'm passing, it was one of the first ones that I chose to do, was Trade Day. So there you go. The kid over here can trade this silly Monopoly money in my sleep. New stream here, by the way. If you want to know my current positions, you look in the upper left-hand corner and you would know that I'm short the MES, I'm short the MNQ, I'm short MCL, I am short MBT, and I'm long Dow Jones. This thing is not moving, so I am going to actually take one of my Dow off. Take it off, baby. So now we're just resting 946, the minus twos. Minus twos. Take it off. Take it off. All right, I'm looking forward to the camel spitter. I think I should have that ready by next week or the week after. If you're late to the stream, the camel spitter is going to be a wheel that we spin where it will randomly select a product, a size, and a direction. And then I will go and put on that product, that size, and that direction right in front of you. It'll be limited to MGC, MCL, MBT, all the major stock indices. And since I'm trading a live account, we could actually even throw in there MTN, which probably none of you know about. It's pretty thinly traded, but MTN is the micro 10-year ultra treasury. I'm like the only guy on the planet that trades this, but I trade it. We'll do it live. If I had to guarantee one thing, there's no way that Patrick Whalen, Wade, Rips, any of these guys have ever traded the MTN contract. That's my badge of honor, trading illiquid. Speaking of illiquid products, you guys, did you see that Ninja's saying they're here? Trade the stocks you love. I don't know if Ninja's looked at a chart of these things yet, but we're on it. The other thing we're on is I'm endowed. So since I'm endowed, I'm going to start trading the NDOW. The NDOW, the E-Nano Dow Jones Industrial Average, the NDOW. For a ready, wait for it, 5 cents a point. So anyway, if they can figure out the transaction cost associated with this, I'm not going to be trading these, just so you know. These I will not trade with my live money. It gets a little silly. But I could see the prop program supporting them, and I could see you drunk monkeys who are not ready to trade the MNQ and should not be trading the MNQ, which is a very simple benchmark. Are you getting through these programs without pulling your hair out, profiting? Are you like a rock star like our Janelle is? If you're not, then don't be a drunk monkey, please. And okay, long gold on that pullback to 4,300. So I just bought it. Long gold right there. It's dropping. All right, covered one of my M2Ks. Now I'm going to move this order. So basically I'm short most everything except for that Dow Jones, which I reversed at prior session low and then have just been holding it for today. So I'm short the S&P. See how easy this is later in the day? Narrow range, but range has expanded a little bit. Even though these are sort of sloppy bands here, sometimes people like it sloppy. 77.48s are your VWAP. That's a short. 77.25, that's the -2. That's my cover. But keep in mind that once we have the camel spitter, we're going to let the camel spitter choose the direction. I'd love to get in this NASI, but I need a move to the -2s. So there's what I'm doing, NASI. Excuse me, -1. So NASI's -1 +1. I mean, because you don't have to be a genius to see that, at least for now. Now, yesterday we got a nice sell-off near the close in the NASI, and then it turned out, most of the earnings, the SanDisk and others sort of shit the bed. So I think if I'm going to get long here, I'm going to cancel it and go down to there. Keep these up here. I don't mind some shorts if we find a little bit of So anyway, who's going to be endowed? Endowed. That's right. Use the bookmark bubbles. Tiny bubbles. All right. How did he know? Why did he get out? Why did I exit one of those Dow Jones? I don't know. Market's just selling off a little bit here, huh? Uh-oh. Crude oil up to the +2s. Crude oil up to the +2s. Tiny bubbles.
Order cancel. Order cancel. Order cancel. Order cancel.
In the stream. Calvin, now you got me on tiny bubbles. Don't do that anymore, right? I don't want to be hearing any tiny bubbles. No tiny bubbles. Yeah, your MYM profit getting the low of the day, and now poof, it's gone. We'll just put it in a high yielding security deposit, and poof, it's gone. Suck it, Russell. Where's my next level on the Russell? Oh, right there. Right there. Tuesday's POC. Come get me. I need to move it up to I'll bring it up to 35 3. There we go. Right there. All right, cool. I should save this session for my trade group because it's been a while since I've been in this many positions for the afternoon. I've been keeping it kind of light. I had one Dow short that was sucking for a long time and then took that off today. And can you imagine if I had held for the for the 54,000 where we got to? Very nice. All right, this is a little crowded here. We don't need this that crowded. What we do need is we need a weak close. Give me a weak close. No, so if micros are $1 round trip, that are nanos a dime, no, it will not work like that. I don't know what the exchanges are going to do. I mean, again, I asked Gemini to go out there and look at not only the CME, because the CME hasn't published it yet, and any kind of guesses. There were some guesses that maybe some of the firms would bring back flat fee commission pricing for nanos. So like something like you pay $50 a month and that covers all your commissions. But the problem is the exchange fees. So what are they going to do with the exchange fees? Because there's three components that make up the total transaction cost. There's exchange fees. There's an NFA fee. They call it an assessment fee. Love those guys at the NFA. I love you, NFA. I love you, NFA. Anyway, and then And then the commissions. So people are always hung up on this commission, but as you can see, the exchange fees on micros are more than the price of commissions at a lot of places. So who knows? Who knows? All right, what do we watch? Do we watch the losing Dow Jones or the winning? Sorry, not winning yet. Or the Nasdaq. Look at that Nasdaq just hug that zone we drew. Oh, I'm liking this new stream. This camera looks so good. Might get down to the 109s again on the ZB, everybody. I'm going to be a seller there, like with some serious size. Now, we got payrolls tomorrow, right? And payrolls could move us around. I would love to see a little pop-a-rooney in the long end, a little steepen in there, and get some 109s on again. Sell some 109 puts. What if you said to yourself, hey, all I do is jerk around on a simulator trading the NASDAQ or MNQ all day. What if I actually learned a little bit about treasuries and options on futures? Where would I learn something like that from somebody that could actually teach me? Where would I learn something like that about options on futures, which nobody teaches except for Tom Sosnoff, who teaches it incorrectly? Maybe I'd go over to something like options over here, and I'd watch an intro to futures options. Or if I had a question about how treasuries actually work, I could watch an entire presentation on treasury futures. Or maybe I'm gotten pretty good at trading, and I'd be interested in finding out if I could ever not manage people's monies, but sell my alpha, right? Sell my signals. There's a company called Collective 2 that I'm an investor in where you could do that. You can learn about that opportunity. So you're not just, again, jacking off on a simulator all day long. You're stepping it up. By the way, I appreciate everybody who's in my community jacking the simulator right now. We got to learn somewhere. I guarantee my editor's going to pick that. We got to put that. Let's put this on Instagram. Let's get that on Instagram. Barry, don't get greedy on those 109s. We already made our money on the pop on the. We've come to find out that there is no such thing as, you can't hide anywhere. Everything's correlated. NASDAQ goes down, the whole world goes down. What changed in the world between gold at 4,000 and gold at 43.80s this morning? Nothing. More buyers than sellers. More buyers than sellers. So in addition to the camel spitter, I think we could also have the fade Brad. We could do the fade Brad too. So we come in and we figure out if Brad's in a position and we take the other side. Got the camel spitter and we got the fade Brad. So when I ask those, when I say things, what's the difference between gold at 4,000, 4,300? People want to look for reasons, and I don't mind if you guys think that it's because of what was happening with the yen, or it's because no. All look, if I had a media channel, which I sort of do here, it's all nonsense. Nobody knows, because what's happening in the actual markets are a whole bunch of algorithms banging into each other all day long. So when you hear some sort of headline about, well, or you can even look at it like this, 10% of, and by the way, these are just things that I read. I don't even know if any of this is true, right? 10 to 15% of all brokerages accounts in South Korea were completely wiped out. Okay. What do I do with that? How many of those were opened up within the last year when their index tripled in a year? I don't know. The intervention of this, the intervention of that. This is the absolute truth, gang. You could have tomorrow's newspaper every single day, and in the current new world order of how markets work, you would make no money. Aside from, look, you still make no money. I would even argue that you wouldn't even be able to predict the reaction to earnings if you had the earnings report. Uh-oh, the camel spitter got me long the Dow Jones here. I'm going to have to switch off of that and go to something that maybe will make some money here. Ooh, crude oil. Crude oil going the wrong way too. You're going the wrong way. And gold going the wrong way. So actually, we're clinging to anything. I got no profits going on here. I'm giving up. I think I started the stream. We were up $1,000 or a little more. Now we're up 972. I'm going to keep that on the screen for you every day too, because it's important to see when you have 6 or 7 positions on, even with micros, you're going to get $1,500 to $3,000 swings throughout the day. Now your job is to keep that on the positive side. But if you start to see yourself giving back, what do? You just reduce some size. Which is basically what I did right here. Just reduce size. So really quickly, why I sold right there was not because it wasn't doing anything. I'm just observing these little swings. And when you continue to make a series of lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, me no like. But man, really slow. I don't know how am I going to fill the next 24 minutes? I know. What is the proper stroke budget? What's the proper stroke budget? Come on, gold. Can I scalp you right up here to the plus, to the minus ones?
Order submitted.
It's a little late in the day for me to have an order both here and here, so I'm just going to rest low of session. That's where my sexy girlfriend has an order at 42.85. No, 42.82 half. So 42.82 half. Talk about TDGPT. I like that. I can talk about that for a moment. So my goal with this thing, everybody, is to create kind of a custom GPT. If you're not familiar with that, just basically means like a chat bot, if you will, that that is completely trained on my 30 years of market experience and the education that I think could really help a lot of people out. And instead of going through now you can go through this classroom in order like you should. This is very simple, but I think the future of education, the way to learn things, is to also have a more intelligent thing, meaning, I shouldn't say more intelligent, something that is very, 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 very familiar with all of the materials, and then you can add your own context in the same way you would talk to ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude, and you can get much more meaningful answers for your particular situation. And right now we're playing around with sort of asking anything, teaching you properly, going through the materials. Reluctantly, I did add this headspace because half of you guys are are wackadoo and you believe that this has anything to do with why you can't trade. I'm undisciplined and I can't hold winners and I can't do. You don't have enough ass and chair time. You're not a good enough golfer. That is it. Golf frustrates all of us, but the more you practice, the better that you get, the more decent shots you can hit versus shitty shots that you hit. Your emotional state with golf for many people. Now, there's just some people, they're just wired. You're so freaking frustrated you shouldn't play golf or do anything competitive or trade. But anyway, I did a whole video on how to fix the I'm rattled part, but you know, I keep revenge trading and I can't stop. I'm scared to take the entry. I'm scared. But the part I'm most excited about is going to be the market desk. Okay, and this market desk is going to be what will have a bunch of dashboards and things that are specific to our training and education to help you prepare in sort of our way. Do it our way. Speaking of our way, tomorrow, members of my group, did you guys see this? Some people were a little confused. Why did he take it off? Where'd it go? Brad, what are you doing to me? I didn't want you to delete it. When are we doing this? There was supposed to be a session tomorrow where we're going to go through the indicator. Craig, are you here? Where'd it go? I thought we were going to go through that new indicator. SpaceX is ripping, and by ripping you mean up 3%? I don't know if I would call that ripping. Anyway, I'm bummed here. I thought we were having a session tomorrow where we're going to go through the I don't know what happened. I can tell you what happened is this abomination. Oh, he took that off too. No, not that. This one. Nope. Oh, here in the classroom. Sorry. Which looks different from a design standpoint? Oh, maybe this one. Anyway, pre-market was with Brad if you want to do that. So, TDGPT, basically a intelligent chatbot. Intelligence is very subjective. Trained on all of our stuff so that I don't have to answer the same questions for the rest of time. And I especially cannot be answering the same questions for the rest of time for $4 per market day. So that will be included. All right, gold. Here we go, S&P. Let me attach this right to the line. I want every last bit of this short. Every last bit. No, TDGPT is not publicly available to anyone yet. I can't have it. It still hallucinates a little too much, and it doesn't write particularly well yet either, because it has some ridiculous amount of training, and sometimes that training. Anyway, we're learning how to do it. It's fun. We're learning how to do it. Feed the brain. This is where I go in and I say the answer you gave me over here is, oh, now it's doing it that way. How do I set my daily risk budget? Now I'm in total admin mode, so I don't have my admin key with me, so I can't give you an example. All right, here we go. So you can say that answer sucks. That answer sucks. Or this answer's great. All right, back to the charts. See if we get a little sell-off in crude. I'll just cover it right here. If we do, if we don't. One thing eventually, if you could get to the point where you're trading a variety of products, it does, to a certain extent, give you a little bit of session diversification, right? I never enter any short in the Dow Jones to protect against the long in the S&P. I'm never purposely doing any kind of hedging like that. The only official hedging I will ever do is if I have a large options position on and I know I might get assigned. I might take some of that assignment risk away by selling the underlying if I'm short a put, or if I'm short a call, just buying the underlying to offset there. So those things are hedging, where I would just buy it at the price in which I need to hedge. But what I'm getting at is, if you can get to the point where at some point you have some treasuries on, a few micros on, and I think this works all the way up to a couple $100,000. Like, if you want to really not sleep at night and pull your hair out, even if you're capitalized enough to do the same thing, but you're not capitalized enough with $100,000 or $200,000 to have 2 or 3 minis across 7 or 8 products, because then you have 16 or 20 minis on and you are not going to sleep at night. I really don't care how big your account is. But you get to the point where you can have a crude oil short, a gold long, an MBT short, a Russell short, a NASDAQ nothing, waiting, a Dow Jones long, an S&P short, right? So one thing it does is it removes a little bit of the volatility in your portfolio, provided that you're trading with a framework where all of the positions made sense and you manage risk in each individual position from a sizing standpoint, and then you manage your overall risk based on the portfolio. But one thing it does is that again, the way I trade, I can quite literally just come in here and put orders on lines and then not have an emotional attachment to every little tick here. I just don't care. This dumb camel spitter got us long the Dow Jones. So all I can do is hold it, be frozen. Let's take a look at the Russell. Could we get down to our level on the Russell? I think I'm going to pull it up to T-line, everybody. Now, whenever you're short, it never gets to your target. But if someone wants to go long the Russell right here for me, please, that will ensure that it drops another point and I get filled. So I would like if someone could... the prop firms consider it hedging. To my knowledge, only one does, and that's just Apex. So I've done everything I can to try to get Apex to remove that. Now, you cannot be long and short the same instrument, or long and short micros and minis, which is a bummer, because in the real world, you can, of course, be short micros and minis. They're different products. You could be long and short micros and minis in the real world. Trust me, I did a lot of it when the micros first came out. So to my knowledge, it's only Apex. All right, 1 more minute till our market on close orders. Well, then don't trade with Legends. That's just stupid. Legends, I moved on from Legends. I've moved on. He runs a real brokerage too, so he should not run a program that doesn't allow you to. I'm gonna drag this into price, everybody. I'm not gonna. If it pops at all, Russell generally doesn't react that much to market on close orders, but come on. Suck it, Russell. Ho! Winner. Hard to be humble when you're as great as I am. All right, now let's just see if we can get the get this S&P on an outside day down. For an outside day down, we really didn't get much scare of the children going on today. They did not scare the children that much. What do we want to root for? What do we want to watch? I want to watch gold because I think gold's the most interesting thing in here. So see if we get a little strong close from gold. Tell your friends we're going to have the camel spitter. The camel spitter. Do camels really spit, or is that just llamas? Tina, eat your food. Tina, eat your food. Hey, can you guys like, subscribe, and turn on the bell notifications? Just like this thing and subscribe to the channel if you don't already. And members of my group, if you have a quick moment, can you go over and leave a review? Go over and leave a review. Just log in here and leave a review, please and thank you. Thank you very much. Go gold. Ooh, someone took the other side, got long the M2K. It is a level. It's got an orange line right there. Do you believe in T-line? Do you believe in T-line? Mark the day. App lovin'. You want to look at the prettiest chart of all time? Oh, poor app lovin'. Poor app lovin'. Sorry. 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 707 is where I shorted it. 707. Right here. Not the first time. The first time you got to hold off. The first time you got to be a little, you just hold off and you just watch the stupid show. I mean, this feels great. And then I love how it's always easy after the fact. By the way, these are weekly candles. So when we held that weekly open, but I can go and do this with stocks all day long. But anyway, we're going here and I'm going to cover right around here. I'm going to cover everything in here. Then we'll see. I'm sure the idiot bottom fishers will be right in here around there. And then we end up breaking that. At that point, I don't care anymore. I'm not involved. And then back down to here. And then in a few years, out of business. Not even in existence. Oh, gold. Gold. Anyone long gold with me there? So now I'm fine to put an order in here. Down at the -2s. And my only shorts are up there. So short at 43.57s. All right. Is anyone buying the Dow Jones? Come on, Dow. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. How come SpaceX is not shortable today at Interactive Brokers? What's going on with you, Thomas Peaford-y, you wussy? You wuss. All right, I'm going to reduce one of these. One of these. This got close enough. We just missed it. You see some late action sometime right after the bell and things in crude oil with some note, but I will rest a short up there. I'm fine with that. Let's see where these levels are here. By the way, members of my group, something you might notice about the afternoons, right? In the morning, I'm saying de-emphasize the stay in your lane, right? De-emphasize it. Don't make it your focal point. We want to do range trader mornings. In the afternoons, you can see me how I'm putting levels at band levels in the afternoons, right? Can I get a 1 in the chat for members of my group if you're noticing that? So mornings we're going to emphasize the range trader. In the afternoons, I will, without even looking. So I put this order at 78.40. It's a +2, but how nice is that we have an SOS2 confluence here at 78.40 at T-line too, right? I had even forgotten that we were outside day up on crude today, to be honest with you, right? So that's the key there. What are my thoughts on Forex? Total shit. The problem with Forex is that Forex is now interchangeably, well, there's so many problems with Forex. Because Forex used to just mean currency pairs, right? And a currency pair. I always particularly hated currency pairs versus just trading the futures. Because then I get 6E, 6B, 6C, 6J, right? Now, yes, it was constructed as the same thing as a pair against the dollar, but it was a much better product than the true pairs, where you got swaps and you got conversion problems and all sorts of, it's just shit. And then CFDs are total shit. Those are just, I love these people that are like, did you know that the US 30 is the same thing as the MYM? No, it's not the same thing as the MYM. It's a derivative of a derivative. All right, I don't know what this thread was that caused this thing. For me, finding something that works good for prop firms, every system has too much drawdown or you don't make enough. You're looking at it totally incorrectly. So it sounds like you're definitely not a member of my group. I will teach you how to get through these prop programs. Probably not in the time frame that you would like, but I will teach you how to pass one for sure in a few months and then be on your way to a payout. 100%, or I'll give you your money back. And by the way, when I say I will teach you, it has nothing to do with the strategy. Hear me again. It has nothing to do with the strategy. You are watching unskilled idiots on the internet. Go find anybody that has their account balance right up there in front of you, trading the same products and the same size that you could trade. Now, can you trade all of those instruments simultaneously? No. Can you trade long and short some of those things at a prop firm, at certain prop firms? No. So we make small tweaks, not big tweaks. There is no strategy that's going to fix this for you. When you say the strategy takes too big of losses or the strategy takes too big of drawdowns, it's because you're watching or listening or sizing from someone who doesn't understand what the fuck they are doing. I do not want to ever create an armada of people that just come in and take my exact positions in the exact same direction in the exact same products. We're not going to have that. But if you are struggling, all you have to do is come in and watch me trade the Dow Jones, and ready for it, you will never lose a lot of money again. It might take you a little while to put the pieces together for yourself, or worse, you could come in and spend 6 months and not pay attention and not know what's going on. There are some people that do that too. And if you're saying to yourself, well, yesterday Rod was holding a unprofitable trade in the Dow Jones which was a short that has now become wildly profitable, and now he's in a long position that he's going to hold, which I will. I can't do that. Yes, you can. You can just close it and reopen it in a couple hours from now. Now, should you be in the habit of that? No. Because position trading and holding certain positions and portfolio management is a whole different thing than what you should do for the prop programs. What you should do for the prop programs is establish, protect, and respect a daily risk budget. Make sure that daily risk budget doesn't exceed 10 to 15% of your starting account balance, and trade the MYM and then eventually the MES, and that is it. All right, what happened with the Dow? Little rally in the S&P. Little rally in the S&P. Can they buy the Dow, please? NASDAQ said, hold my beer, and decided to do a whole lot of nothing. All right. Fun Day Friday tomorrow. The only way you could come into Fun Day Friday is by being a member of the group. Love to see you there. Fun Day Friday is usually a lot of fun. People missed Brad last week. He was sorely missed. Sounds like the music is back, so you can come on in.
Cancelled.
Who am I calling unskilled idiots? Hey, if I ever find anybody who knows what they're doing, I will tell you. I swear, if I ever find anybody that knows what they're doing in terms of creating content and supposedly teaching, Rod, Trader Drysdale has the same strategy you do. And look, watch this stuff, doesn't know what he's doing. Bring it on, anybody. They don't know what they're doing. So if anyone, they don't know what they're doing. And I mean specifically kind of in this space around active tradings in the futures markets. I'm not going to comment on equity traders or options people. There's a lot of smart people out there teaching and educating on options. But when it comes to this, if you are broke, no joke, and you think you're going to change your life trying to spin up a prop account, you're sorely mistaken. So what you should do is educate yourself properly on how to trade these great products successfully, utilizing the same strategy, the same sizing, the same risk management, the same approach. And yes, starting out a framework taught by someone who knows, look, I've traded hundreds, if not thousands of different approaches and styles, and I still do a lot of things that I don't teach on because it's not necessary. This is all you need to learn a framework. Because once you understand volatility and volume and percentages and probabilities, then I don't give a shit if you decide that you always want to be long or you always want to try to identify a short-term trend and trade with some sort of trend. Fine. I think you're going to find that hard to do versus just understanding what time of day you could just put orders on lines. Rod, I can't. I get killed when I put the orders on the lines, and I know because you don't understand the context yet. I could get in the sand trap and hit the ball out of the sand trap. If you can't play golf, you're going to get in the sand trap and take 6 strokes to get it out of the sand trap. So you can say, I hate the sand. Right, because you're not skilled enough to play in the sand yet. That's it. And your lack of skill is what frustrates you, and it would frustrate me too if it took me 7 shots to get out of the sand trap. So the only way it doesn't take you, and by the way, there's no strategy. There's a few minor things that you do. Adjust your stance. Golfers will understand, but it's, obviously have the right club, but it's not a completely different, you don't turn around and face the other way and then put the club behind your back and then go like this and go, well, that strategy didn't work. There's just minor tweaks to this whole thing. All right. I could ramble on forever. I could look at myself over here in this camera forever. God, he's handsome. Find me one. Find me anybody else out there who knows what the fuck they're talking about. And maybe I'll partner with them. I'll have them on my Adults in the Trade Room podcast. Because I know someone who knows what they're talking about, John Netto. But John Netto doesn't do any of this stuff. He can't even spell prop. This to him is the silliest. When we got off of our talk the other day, he's like, that is the most asinine thing I've ever heard of. I'm like, I know. And there's hundreds of thousands of people trying to learn how to do this way without any real sense of margins, without any sense of real trading. They have no idea. And by the way, I still support these programs. I think you can learn and benefit from them. You can be like Janelle and put yourself through a trip to Europe if you do it the right way. Become the carny, not the gambler. We'll see you at the next one. Be good. Bye-bye.